Hey, hello guys, welcome. So today we're gonna be sculpting mouth, the mouth in Nomad Sculpt. So it's gonna be a quick and easy tutorial showing you the techniques I use, the brushes I use to achieve this mouth you've seen. So if you're a beginner, just join me as I show you how I create mouth in Nomad Sculpt. It's gonna be very quick, very smart, very neat. So just join me as we go into the tutorial, and I'll see you in a short moment from now. So welcome guys. So first of all, before you want to sculpt anything, it's very good that you understand that particular thing that you want to sculpt. If you're sculpting the eye, it's very good you understand the structure of the eye, the structure and the shape of the eye, and the position of the eye. You just want to understand that, so when you're sculpting it will not be that difficult for you. So first of all, what I want to do, I want to create a new scene. So guys, as you can see, the sphere, it's having a very low poly count, so I just want to leave it like that for now. I don't want to add extra polygon, by remeshing it, or by subdividing it. I don't want to do any of that right now, so I just want to keep it simple. First of all, I just want to get the shape of what I want. I just want to get a basic shape of what I want, the basic shape of the mouth, before I go into any sculpting. So that helps you to get how the lips will form when you do this sculpt, because some people do it flat, because the mouth is not flat, it's kind of prolonged at the front. So that's what I want to achieve. So I'm just going to reduce the size of my brush a little bit. So I'm going to use my grab brush and pull this part down to form the chin. From the chin, I'm going to pull down that part up, pull it up to form the lower part of the nose. So I'm going to pull this part out a little bit. I'm going to push that to the front. Just keep it simple. Yes, I'm going to push this part out a little bit, so it looks like this. So just keep it simple. You don't want to go too hard in sculpt. So you want to reduce the radius of your brush so it won't be so high. So your side of the brush. So I'm going to bring this part out a little bit. It's looking kind of small. It's looking small compared to what I'm going for. So I'm just gonna. So basically, I want you to push this part out a little bit. So it's looking, it's looking good. We're going somewhere. So what we want to do right now is gonna, it's very good to look from all sides. Very important when you're sculpting. Look from all sides. It helps you sculpt. So I don't want to say right now. She got some things to do, so I'm gonna pull this part up a little bit. Let's see how it looks. All this is from my knowledge of anatomy, so it helps you remember and know the shape of the lips. It helps you remember the shape of the body. Whatever thing you're doing, it helps you remember and recognize how it's done. So that's just it. So nothing much, just fun stuff. Yeah, so what do we want to do right now? Well, that's looking awkward. It's looking awkward, so I'm gonna reduce the radius of my brush a little bit. The intensity and the radius. Yeah. I'm gonna, first of all, I think I'm gonna mark out the lower part of the jaw. Yeah, the lower part of the mouth. I'm just gonna mark that out, and the upper part. So measuring this, the lips is like 1/3 at the base, from the nose to the chin. It's like 1/3. So it's not like half, like a 1/3. So you want to know that. So it's looking forward. So I'm gonna bring this part out a little bit using my grab brush. So I'm gonna pull this part. So you notice from the beginning of this sculpt, I've been using grab brush, because I'm trying to boss to block out the shape. Sorry for that. So I'm trying to block out the shape of the mouth. So I don't need much brush like that. I just need the grab brush to do that. So just pulling out the mouth to get that volume that you have. on the mouth. So okay, I think I'm gonna save it right now. So I'm gonna save it. I think I'm gonna save it with lips sculpt. Yeah, lip sculpt. Okay, so always save your work. Now, one beautiful thing about Nomad Sculpt is that it automatically saves your work, so you don't need to press Ctrl S or something like that, to save every now and then, like Blender or ZBrush, it just saves it automatically. So as long as you saved it the first time, it saves it automatically, except you want to create a new document, so you have to save it again. So that's the beautiful thing I love about Nomad Sculpt. And yeah, very good font top. So I'm going to decrease the intensity and the radius because I want to mask out the mouth. So remember what I told you, that 1/3 from the base of the nose to the chin. So 1/3. So right here, that's the 1/3. Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna mark out the mouth, the middle. So that's the line. So it's not a straight line, it's actually a curved line. It's a curved line, curved like a letter M. So it's curved downward like this. So that's the basic shape. So it's curved like this. So I'm gonna make that crease more. So you didn't see me there. That's the crease brush I'm reusing right there. So I switched over to the crease brush very fast. So using the crease brush, just mark that part out. So I'm gonna use my grab brush to pull it down a little bit. It's looking too straight. So to pull it down, the lips is not straight, it has this kind of curved line. So you're gonna pull that out. So basically, it's looking weird, it's looking like a monster mouth. So I want to refine these a little bit. I think I'm gonna mask these out. Do select my mask brush. So I'm gonna click on mask. I'm gonna mask. I'm gonna increase the intensity and reduce the size. So I'm gonna mask this part, the lower lip, because the reason why I'm masking it actually is so that I can have enough room to adjust the upper lip, because if I don't do that, then I may end up even dragging both lips. So I want to adjust the upper lip so you can max that out. And I'm going to show you something that you can also do. So in case of me working on the lower lip, what I need to go is just go to there and invert the selection. So it's gonna invert it to the other side. So now I can just gonna smooth that out a little bit, and now the part that I masked before is now inverted. So now I can sculpt on this side and it wouldn't affect the other side that I masked. So I'm just gonna pull that part out a little bit using my grab brush. I'm gonna pull this part out a little bit, this part right here. I'm gonna pull it out a little bit. Wow, what is that? What is that? So I'm gonna pull this part out. Wow, looking nice. Well, no, that's not looking nice at all. I'm gonna use my clay strip, set it to smooth. I'm gonna smooth that out a little bit so I can get rid of that stuff right there. So I'm gonna reduce the radius. I wanna click on subtract and just add that depth to it. So remember, always work with reference. You're a beginner, you don't want to learn from bad experience. You don't want to develop bad habits. So what you want to do is always make sure to look at reference, because you learn it. So it's basically very good you do so you won't come out with bad result, or have that bad skill. Nobody want to learn anything the bad way, so you want to learn it the good way. Yeah, very good, very good. So I'm gonna smooth this part a little bit. My clay strip, no, not really smoothing, just adding volume. Gonna add volume. My clay strip a little bit. My clay brush, I don't know why I call it clay strip, because in Blender the clay brush is actually called clay strip. I think that's why I call it clay strip brush. So it's a clay brush, don't mind me. So well, it's a fun stuff. Sculpting is very fun. So I'm just gonna use my flatten brush to flat this part out a little bit, flat that part out a little bit, this helps. I prefer to use my flatten brush rather than using my smooth brush, because when you flat the part out, it kind of have that shape, but when you smooth it out, it loses the shape. It just smooths everything, and there is no shape, just smooth everything. So I prefer to use my flatten brush, you know to flatten about a little bit. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get the basic shape of the lower lip, so you see how it's going. So I'm just gonna invert the selection, because right now I'm gonna be working on the upper lip. So what I'm gonna do right now, I think I'm gonna pull this part out a little bit. So I'm gonna use my move brush selected now. Oh no, I'm gonna deselect that. So I'm gonna use my move brush to move this part out a little bit. So it's looking good. It's looking really good. So no, it's not looking good. It looked like the mouth of an oak. Sorry guys. So I'm gonna refine that a little bit. So the shape that he has now, it's not looking good. So I'm gonna refine that. You get the idea. Just refining it makes it better. The intensity was too high, so reduce that a little bit, pull it down. So always make sure you reduce the intensity of your brush, because that's gonna help a lot. When you're sculpting, it helps you control the flow of your brush, and when you're sculpting, rather than you trying to kill 100 birds with one stone. Man, I don't think that's possible. So it's looking good. One of the mistake people make all the time is when you're sculpting, they just they go straight to the details, and they don't focus on the base of what they're sculpting. No, you don't want to do that. Whenever you're sculpting, you always want to make sure that you work on the base. The base, like when you're sculpting the mouth, you want to know the structure. You want to sculpt out the form, the shape first of all, before going into details like adding the line of the lip, the crease at the lower lip, and the details and the texture. You just want to achieve that first. So I'm going to use my crease brush. I'm just going to pull this part out a little bit so I can see things from different side and how it's looking. So now I get the idea. Look at that part looking prolonged. So now you can see how it's looking. So to add volume to this part, so looking at a reference image, you can find out that this part of the mouth, yeah, looking good. Always good to pay attention to reference. Very, very good. You don't want to learn bad habits, you want to learn the good way. Okay, I think it's time to remesh a little bit, so I can go into deep sculpting right now. So I'm gonna set it to 182, 182. Okay, 182. I'm gonna remesh that, so you see it adds extra polygons. So 182. Okay, yeah, looking good, looking good. So all right. So what I want to do right now is just want to use my clay strip to add volume to this part, because looking at it, it looks kind of flat. So I want to see how the shape looks. So we're going for something anatomically kind of correct. So you want to, you want to add clay strip, add your clay right here a little bit, so it looks believable. Okay, all right. So, well, I like the idea of how it's looking right now. I like the idea, very good. Okay, I'm gonna select my clay brush. I'm gonna add a little clay right here. Gonna add to this part. When you pay attention to the lips, you observe that this part has this, you know, this volume, that makes it looking good, pretty well. So you have that volume, so you want to pay attention to that. All right, moving on. So this part right here, so I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit, using my clay strip. I'm gonna just add volume, not really smoothing, just adding volume to it. As you can see, it's looking good. We're going somewhere. So I'm just gonna add volume a little bit. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, go hit the subscribe button right now. So go hit the subscribe button, smash the bell icon. So all right, moving on. So you see, auto save in 0 seconds. So you see, it automatically saves your work. So very good, very good. So I'm just gonna use my clay brush and just add volume right here. The lips is not divided from the other one, they actually join together. So you want to make sure that all those stuff you're putting them together and achieving the results that you want. It takes some time, sculpt different types of lips, achieve thing you want. The key, very nice. Just do the thing that is right, do the things that is right, and you enjoy your sculpting, future. You don't want to sculpt the wrong way. All right, moving on. So I just want to mark out this part, the lower part of the nose. Well, mark it up all a little bit. It's looking kind of big, but I'm gonna leave that like that for now. just gonna and do that. Okay, I think I was just gonna push that part. Oh, I'm gonna push that part back a little bit. So, wow. Just select my grab brush. I think I'm gonna push that part back. Okay. So I'm gonna push that part back. I'm gonna push it like that. Okay. It's looking good. So all right. So I'm gonna smooth this part a little bit. I'm gonna reduce the intensity. I'm gonna smooth this part a little bit. So make sure you look from outside. It helps a lot. When you're looking from outside, you get to observe the shape from the left to right. From the top. It helps you observe the shape of the sculpt. So very good. Look from outside. So I'm just gonna crease this part a little bit, with my crease brush. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. So, well, I'm loving the idea, of sculpting. Nomad sculpts recently they just updated. The latest version came out, recently. Using Nomad Sculpt 6.1.65. I think, yeah. So there are a lot of amazing features, a lot of amazing features. Nomad Sculpt is going somewhere, and it's available for both Android and and iPad. So it's really cool. I love the idea. So, well, it's going somewhere. So I just use a flattening brush to flatten up that part, and now I'm flatten the bottom. So just flatten it to get that shape that we're going for. So very cool, very cool. Sculpting is fun, you want to learn how to sculpt. Well, it's very good, yeah. So I'm gonna clear that mask. Just clear the mask out so I can have more room to see the way it's looking, so I can do more, sculpting before the final results. Yeah, very nice. So right now, hmm, 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 okay, I'm gonna look at it from the bottom. See, the upper lip is usually, kind of prolonged than the lower lip. Some people, the lower lip is kind of prolonged than the upper lip. So, depending on what you want to sculpt, so you want to pay attention to reference. Pay attention to live images, not drawings. You want to pay attention to live pictures, like real life images that you can observe how it works in real life. Except you're going for something stylized, you can create your style, just do something that rolls with the style, and will come out pretty well. All right, okay. I'm gonna reduce the intensity a little bit. So what I'm gonna do right now is, this part, I'm just gonna flatten this part out a little bit. So use my flatten brush instead of using my smooth brush, because what I do is I just use the flatten brush to like flatten it, but it still has that, you know, volume. It doesn't remove every details. It still has that details that I'm going for. So I just use my flatten brush, flatten out a little bit. It's called just flattening it. It's flatten. Okay, flattening it. Okay, flatten. So very good. So yeah. Yo, looking good. So this part, I'm just gonna flatten that a little bit, you know, as long as the brush is set to a low radius, a low intensity, it doesn't affect the mesh that much. It doesn't affect it. So you just have that opportunity to, you know, to remove some, you know, unwanted, you know, clay or mesh. So this part looks kind of very big, so I'm gonna smooth that out a little bit with a flatten brush. So I just saw something. So look at that part right there. So I'm gonna use the flatten brush to just flatten that a little bit. So to flatten that part a little bit. Yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So next week I'm gonna be uploading a new video where I'm going to show you how to sculpt ear. So it's gonna be a beginner tutorial on how to sculpt ear in Nomad Sculpt. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very, you know, interesting. I'm gonna be showing you how to sculpt different ear in Nomad Sculpt. So it's gonna be in real time. So I'm gonna be showing you everything. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment below if you like the video or not. Don't forget to leave a comment. Tell me what you want, what you thought about the video, what you want to see next time. Yeah, and you know, this fun stuff. Let's grow this community. Alright. So very nice. The lips is coming out well. So I don't want to stop right here. I want to refine it more. I want to get more, you know, more life. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use that word. I'm gonna get more life out of it. So I'm just gonna set it to 150 and remesh again. So now it looks more smoother. It looks smooth. Yeah, it looks smooth. So I'm just gonna use my flatten brush to flatten out that part a little bit. So I'm just gonna, you know, use my clay strip brush and I'll clay right there. Yeah, the fun stuff. So, well, yeah, if you know you love Nomad Sculpt, just wave your hands. Yeah, Nomad Sculpt is very good. I really appreciate the developers, and it's very good. So, that part right there, I think to be nicer. Okay, I'm gonna mask that part a little bit, because I just wanna push the upper lip so it won't look separated. So right now it's looking kind of separated from the lower lip. So lips is not separated. And also remember, always look at reference. So with the few knowledge I have in anatomy, has helped me to understand that the upper lip is kind of like, you know, touching the lower lip. So you want to make sure to look at that at every given time. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna pull that down a little bit to the upper lip, touching the lower lip, giving it that look. And like the lower lip always goes in, like it goes in while the upper lip stays on top of the lower lip. So when you're sculpting, you don't want to do it like as if the lower lip is staying on top of the upper lip. No, that's not how it's done. When you pay attention to reference, you definitely observe what I'm talking about. Yeah, you observe it. You will observe it. So you study reference. For now, that's definitely what you need. You need to observe reference. As a beginner, you need to observe reference. As an intermediate, even I too, I do look at reference every now and then, because it helps you understand what you're doing. You're sculpting a horse. You want to pay attention to the reference image. You want to get live pictures of a horse. Like you want to go and look for pictures of horse, reference images. You want to pay attention to the muzzles and the size, and the form and the shape. All those stuff, they help you when you're sculpting. So you also want to pay attention to anatomy. So you want to grab anatomy images, looking at the anatomy of what you're going for. It really helps you understand how it's done. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fun stuff. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna reduce the size of the brush. I'm gonna add a crease right there. Just add some clay. Okay, I'm gonna use my flattening brush and smooth that part a little bit. So yeah, I think it looks believable with the way it's looking now. It's looking good, I think so. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a comment. Yeah, make sure you leave a comment. You alright? So and don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yeah, it helps me a lot. It helps me create more content like this, real-time tutorials that can teach you what you need to know. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and I'll see you in the next one.